Well, hello everyone, and welcome to the webinar. Thanks for joining us for TripAdvisor's Traveler Awards, Leveraging a Global Phenomenon. Just a few housekeeping items before we get started. The webinar is being recorded, and we'll be able to share a recording of the live broadcast as well as the PowerPoint presentation about 6 business days after the live broadcast. So if you have any colleagues who wanted to join in today but didn't have the chance to, there will be a chance for them to catch up at a later date. So today, DMAI is joined by 2 representatives from TripAdvisor, Mark Preston, who represents DMO Northeast Sales, as well as Louisa Shulkovitz, who's the Brand Marketing Manager. And TripAdvisor obviously needs no introduction. Each year, millions of travelers share their travel experiences on the website, and in today's marketplace, where 3/4 of them consult TripAdvisor before selecting a destination or a venue, it's clearly the platform of choice for travel discovery and inspiration. So we will be taking questions throughout the webinar. If you go to your GoToMeeting dashboard, there is a question panel, and my colleague Jim will be reviewing them throughout the broadcast and setting them up for answers at the end of the presentation. So without further ado, I'm going to turn this over to Louisa to get started.
Welcome, everybody, and thank you very much for participating in today's webinar. My name is Louisa Shulkovitz, and I'm the Brand Marketing Manager at TripAdvisor. I work on the Traveler's Choice program. Today, I'm going to share some tips with you on how to leverage your award. I will give you a quick overview about TripAdvisor, and then I will talk a little bit about the Traveler's Choice Awards and what TripAdvisor does to promote them. And lastly, I will share some examples of how other destinations have promoted their awards. So without further ado, I'm just going to jump right into the slides. I know that many of you are very familiar with TripAdvisor and are really aware that TripAdvisor is the world's largest travel site. But since we've been seeing such rapid growth over the past years, I just wanted to give you a quick update of where we stand right now. Today, we count 340 million unique monthly visitors, 225 million traveler reviews and opinions, and listings including 4.9 million accommodations, restaurants, and attractions. So with all this content, we make sure that we can surface the best of the best in travel and enable travelers around the world to feel confident that the perfect trip at the perfect price is within reach. Now we're in our 13th year. The prestigious Traveler's Choice Awards recognizes the very best of travel around the world. Having started with hotels, we have soon added other categories like destinations, restaurants, attractions, and most recently, even brands, as we realized that a trip is not only about the hotel you stay in, but also about what you do on your trip and where you go. Traveler's Choice helps travelers plan their perfect, from finding the best destination to planning activities. As many of you already know, having won the award, the list of winners each year represents the cream of the crop, as only the top 1% of destinations, properties, and attractions on TripAdvisor wins the award each year. Before I tell you what you can do to leverage the award, I wanted to give you an overview of what TripAdvisor does to promote the award. To get the word out about the winners, we leverage PR, site banners, social media, and email, and the campaign resonates really well with our consumers. Over the many years that we have promoted the award on and off the site, we have seen that Traveler's Choice is an extremely engaging campaign for consumers, and it has been one of the most successful for TripAdvisor. We see higher click-through rates on banners and emails than on any other campaign. Social posts gets higher engagement volume and reach, and the Traveler's Choice campaigns are regularly covered in top-tier media like CNN, USA Today, and Huffington Post, just to name a few here. And with the success of the campaign, we also see that the award really impacts travelers' opinions of where to go, eat, and stay. A recent survey that we did showed that 72% of travelers are more likely to visit a Traveler's Choice Award winner. Here are just a few examples of how Traveler's Choice is promoted on TripAdvisor. You can see the newsletter that is sent to over 55 million members and is fully dedicated to the Traveler's Choice Awards. We're also testing different banner creative and keep the best performing running. Traveler's Choice banners perform up to 67% better than other banners on the site. Winners are featured on a dedicated lander that receives up to 2.5 million page views during the campaign period. And we also display the award on the respective destination page to mark the destination as a winner throughout the year. Having showed you how effective TripAdvisor's promotion over the awards are, I thought this would be a good place to mention some of the case studies we're working on with winners of the award in the brand category. They're another example of the power of the award. Some of our Traveler's Choice favorite winners have had some real success stories after integrating the award into their marketing and merchandising. Lonely Planet, for example, added a Traveler's Choice Award logo sticker to thousands of titles that they sold at Hudson News Airport stores. And they saw an average increase of 16% in market share over previous editions. And Benadryl, who we're also working with, included the award in an email blast to consumers who suffer from allergies, and they received one of the highest open and click-through rates ever. The coupon offer in the email also saw one of the highest redemption rates ever, with twice as many downloads as in similar campaigns. We're just in the process now of completing some case studies with destinations to show how the Traveler's Choice Award impacts the consumer's booking decisions. So if you can share great examples, please let me know, and we'd love to use them in our case study. Before I go on to share some examples of how you as a destination can promote the award, I wanted to make sure that all of you know that Traveler's Choice Award is entirely based on the reviews and opinions of travelers. That means travelers have chosen your destination as their favorite destination or island in the world. Make use of this endorsement when you promote your destination to other travelers. We have seen that destinations have found unique ways to let everyone know that they're a Traveler's Choice winner, including promoting their award on colorful print ads, brochures, and even TV ads. So let me show you some examples here. Cayman Island and Aruba called attention to the award in full-page print ads, as you can see here. And Punta Cana added the Traveler's Choice Award logo to its visitor's guide. You can also leverage high-traffic areas in your destination to display your award. Signs or posters give you the chance to display your win, encourage reviews, and engage your visitors. For example, Bangkok did a really nice job with one of their out-of-home campaigns that they placed all over downtown to encourage visitors to write reviews and make sure that they continue to be recognized on TripAdvisor. Siem Reap showcased its award and welcomed visitors with an attention-grabbing sign at the airport. And Siesta Beach in Florida featured its win while engaging their visitors with a fun photo op to take pictures and then share them on social networks. We've also seen winners leveraging their Traveler's Choice Award by integrating them into banner campaigns, as well as on their websites and in their social media channels. Sarasota County took advantage of Siesta Beach winning the Traveler's Choice Award and included the award logo and messaging around the award into a banner campaign they ran on TripAdvisor. Discovery Cove, who won the Traveler's Choice Attraction Award for amusement parks in 2014, created an integrated online campaign promoting the award and leveraging TripAdvisor content in an email newsletter, with a YouTube video on their homepage and in social media. We see that a lot of the media coverage happens right when the awards are announced. So we recommend that you take action early and send out a press release. But we want to ensure that you know it's not too late to send a press release now, if you haven't done so yet. We continue to see coverage even a few months after the award is announced. Many of you are repeat winners, so in the future, talk to us if you think about planning an event or creating a photo op or anything else to push your PR. We love to support winners in their efforts. And don't forget to let your Facebook fans and Twitter followers know you've won. Play up your local pride. We've seen really fun posts with team photos or fun videos starring the dancing employees of a 2015 hotel winner, as an example. Another way you can spread the word about your award is to activate businesses in your destination to use your award in their marketing. They can benefit from your award as well and promote the fact that they are located in one of the world's best destinations. Club Med, for example, prominently displayed the Traveler's Choice Award logo and listed specific awards throughout its property guide. And the Trade Winds Hotel included the award logo and the fact that their resort is on one of the best beaches in their print ads. Talk to the business in your destination. Let them know about the award and encourage them to use it in their advertising. Okay, I'm coming to an end with my presentation. I have given you an overview of the significance of the Traveler's Choice Award, how TripAdvisor makes sure the word gets out about the winners, and I have shown you examples how other winners have used their award to distinguish themselves from the competition. I hope that I'm sending you off with some ideas on how the Traveler's Choice Award can help you leverage your destination's recognition. Please contact us if you want to discuss any ideas or if you have any questions. We would love to collaborate with you and supporting you in using the award to your advantage. To get you started, you can find the logo and a widget for your website in your TripAdvisor widget center. And I can share logo guidelines and more examples with you if you email me. As a reminder, the award is free to use, but we do ask you that you send us any creative for approval, and we promise that we can turn around approvals within a day or so. So thank you so much for your attendance, and congratulations to those of you who have won. I will now hand over to Mark Preston from the DMO sales team, and he will talk a little bit more about the Certificate of Excellence and review collection.
Thank you, Louisa. Now, another thing that we wanted to do and take time to do on this call was first recognize the fact that the Traveler's Choice Award is something that is given to the top, almost 1% of destinations on TripAdvisor. So as destinations calling in, not all of you are going to perhaps have the ability to leverage a Traveler's Choice Award. Having said that, there is a great opportunity for every destination to leverage what we refer to as our Certificates of Excellence. So the next few slides are going to speak to our Certificate of Excellence as well as review collection, some of which is kind of repetitive in theme to what Louisa talked about, but put in a different context. So, that number, 75% of TripAdvisor members surveyed said they're more likely to use businesses with a TripAdvisor endorsement on it. More and more we're hearing from third-party sources that poll audiences and travelers that TripAdvisor is the source or a top source for them in destination selection, as well as where to go and what to do on their vacation. So how do you leverage that? And the message for us to you today is really don't be afraid to boast. We want to not only recognize you as destinations, but also throughout the year at TripAdvisor, we're recognizing the businesses within your destination itself. So that's another great way that you can really help promote your destination is by calling attention to the winners within your destination. So in terms of promoting your awards, I wanted to call out a recent example of Buffalo. I was recently in Buffalo. It was around the same time that we announced our 2015 Certificate of Excellence winners. In a presentation that I gave, I called reference to a handful of the recipients within Buffalo. And this is just an example of 6 different widgets that you can access on TripAdvisor within a business's management site that you can utilize to really boast about the award and the recognition that that business or establishment has received. You can obviously call out, as in the left-hand corner demonstrates, something very detailed, a wide 300 by 600 ad unit, essentially, that basically calls out your reviews, or something more subtle and simple that really just calls attention to the fact that you were recommended on TripAdvisor. There are also more ways to publicize your win for individual businesses, whether you're a restaurant, a hotelier, or accommodation, or an attraction. This screenshot I literally took from the Business Center. Within it, we call it simple ways that you can really publicize yourself. You can display a certificate within your property. You can issue a press release. We actually give you the template that's ready to use within the management site. You can use an offline logo that you can use into different publications and platforms. You can also promote it via social media with Facebook and Twitter. There are promotional tips as well that I referenced later on in the slide, but what I did want to do is call example again to Buffalo. After conversation with Ed and Karen, who may be on this call, you know, they said, hey, how can we promote these great things, these great awards that our businesses received? And basically off that conversation, I generated a list for them of all the recipients within their area, sent them the press release, and then they basically came up with an altered version of that template that they issued to promote the 2015 recipients of the Certificate of Excellence within their area. So this is something that anyone on the phone can do. If you're not familiar with your rep at TripAdvisor, I encourage you to reach out to me and I can put you in touch with that person. But we want to help you, give you the tools that you need to make the businesses and your constituents successful. In terms of review collection, you know, one of the significant factors that goes into any award at TripAdvisor is obviously reviews. So as Louisa referenced earlier, you know, the TripAdvisor.com /owners tab is important for any business or any destination to go to claim your page on TripAdvisor. You can fill out a form to connect, or you can Facebook connect. It's the easiest way to connect on site. In terms of key factors that determine how we rank or place a business on site, it comes down to 1, quality of the review. 2, the recency of the review. We know that for travelers, reviews left a week ago are much more important than, say, a review that was left 6 months ago. So recency is important. And finally, you can't have recency without quantity. Obviously, you know, TripAdvisor is a technology company. We love data. We love information. And to really play up on that recency component, you need to continue to encourage reviews to get that quantity and make sure that you have more reviews coming in. So we give you some tools within your disposal and within the disposal of the businesses within your destination to utilize a tool called Review Express. Review Express, you can think of like a constant contact technology. It basically allows you to go onto TripAdvisor, create a template for your business or business within your destination, and to send out emails encouraging reviews for that business. And it gives you a dashboard where you can actually track a campaign. How many emails were sent, how many emails were opened, what was the click-through, how many reviews did you get. It is customizable. It's a campaign that, again, provides a dashboard, and most importantly, it's free. Often I'm asked, you know, what do we at TripAdvisor do with the email addresses that these businesses are uploading to our system? And the truth is nothing. We recognize that our businesses want to leverage TripAdvisor. They want to be successful. And we want to give them the tools to do that. So we're not remarketing, we're not opting in these users into a newsletter, we're not creating them as members, but it's simply a tool for our partners to use. You know, in terms of reviews, you can solicit reviews via widgets as well. These are slightly different than kind of promoting the success of an award, and it's more driven towards that review collection component. So going back to the Frank Lloyd Wright Darwin Martin House, this is an example of some of the widgets available in terms of pulling in data and pulling in more reviews via widgets. For those of you not familiar with TripAdvisor Insights, it is essentially our B2B blog. Basically, any new information, any information in regards to awards, any best practices, you know, one-page PDFs, webinars that we conduct here at TripAdvisor. is all shared through TripAdvisor Insights. So one of the things that you may find within TripAdvisor's management site is a link off to TripAdvisor Insights where you can find more information. And I'm just referencing this as a resource for all of you on the phone, particularly in terms of the Certificate of Excellence. There, if you'd like to read more, you can read more on the 2015, 2014 awards and accolades, as well as some frequently asked questions that arise out of the Certificate of Excellence program. And with that, I'd just like to say thank you. We appreciate you taking the time to join the call, to participate in this special session with our branding team. It's not often that we get to have them on the phone with our DMO partners, so I appreciate you registering for this program with DMAI. And with that, I'm going to pass it back over to Jim and team to facilitate any questions.
Thank you so much, both to you, Mark and Louisa. As Joy mentioned before, if you have any questions, feel free to use that questions panel within the GoToMeeting to type in anything you want to ask Mark and Louisa, and I will be sure to pass them along. The first question we have is there a way for the DMOs to get a list of all businesses or hotels, restaurants, anyone who has won either the Travel Choice Award or the Certificate of Excellence within their destination?
Yes, absolutely. So, you know, in terms of my contact information, if any of you on the phone would like to reach out to me directly, what I would do is put you in touch with the appropriate rep for your area or region if it falls outside of mine. But we can definitely work on pulling a list for the Certificates of Excellence within your region or your locale. In terms of the Traveler's Choice destination list, you know, that is a public list that is released every year. So you can easily kind of find out if you're on that list. Louisa does a great job of trying to outreach to all the destinations that are on the list, and she works with us in the DMO team to help facilitate that. So, you know, in terms of Traveler's Choice destinations specifically, you know, if no one's reached out to you and you notice that you are on the list, please do again reach out to me and I'll help coordinate that. Louisa as well, more importantly. But definitely don't be shy about utilizing our contact information for any questions on that front you have.
And I can also help find out who, like what hotel in your destination might have won the Traveler's Choice Award. So feel free to reach out.
Perfect. And can either one of you just give a little bit more detail on how the criteria is different for the Certificate of Excellence versus the Traveler's Choice Award?
Hi, this is Colleen Haka. I'm also on the brand team. So the distinction between the awards, algorithms are slightly different, but the most meaningful distinction is really that Traveler's Choice algorithms are a ranked list of the top 1 through 25 in the world, region, and country for a specific destination or property listed on the site. The Certificate of Excellence is an acknowledgement of consistently high-quality reviews across a calendar year. So just a little bit of a distinction. There's a lot more Certificate of Excellence winners because, you know, it's just sort of an open eligibility against a criteria of consistently good reviews.
Yeah. And one thing I would just add to that is, you know, Certificate of Excellence is measured within one geo. So in terms of the Buffalo example, we were looking at recipients within Buffalo itself in that area, whereas the Traveler's Choice is a broader award given kind of across the entire category as a whole.
Great. And Mark, can you talk about the Certificate of Excellence widgets that are available? Are those available to DMOs to place on their individual attraction business pages within their own sites?
Currently, no. I think that's a great idea. You know, I've not been privy to any conversations around that happening right now, but I think it's a great idea that I'll definitely share internally.
And I've got a question for someone who's a smaller tier destination. They're wondering if it's possible for them to win a Traveler's Choice Award, and maybe if you could talk about what is the criteria for the Destinations on the Rise Traveler's Choice Award?
So the Destinations on the Rise, it is an algorithm that takes into account a little bit more on sort of the trajectory of the geo in popularity and review ranking. It's not necessarily based on how large the geo it is, but there is definitely a certain review volume of things in the destination that has to be taken into account. So if you look at the destinations on the rise, we do have sort of more of a varied set of destinations that are on that than sort of our perennial list of the the top destinations.
Okay, great. And this goes back to the earlier question. If someone is if they're a large regional DMO, it's not specifically a city or a state tourism board, is it possible to get a listing of top ratings for the region as well?
Yeah, it definitely, regions are a little bit trickier to work with. We can definitely export that data and get that for the regions. Depending on the region itself, it just may require a little more time on our end because, we work off the U.S. Postal Service system in the sense of, how things are categorized by geo. So if you're a DMO like Cincinnati, USA, that represents, Cincinnati, Ohio, and, the other neighboring area. They kind of represent almost 3 states in a little triangular area. So for someone like Cincinnati, USA, they're representing a larger portion than just Cincinnati itself. They're representing Kentucky as well, neighboring Kentucky. So in cases like that, we can do it. It just requires a little bit more legwork.
And we have a question about one of the examples that Louisa shared earlier, specifically the Hawaii example. They say the Hawaii example seemed to indicate that the visitor guide itself was a Traveler Choice Award. Is that true? And if so, how does one's visitor guide get considered?
Do you mean the, oh, I see. That was the Lonely Planet example. Okay, I was, so that was an example. Lonely Planet was one of our Traveler's Choice favorite winners. That means travelers voted for Lonely Planet to be their favorite travel guide. And they marked that win with a sticker on their guides. And the Hawaii is just one example. Like it was, the sticker was planted on different guides that were for sale. So it was an endorsement for the guide itself, or for Lonely Planet as a guide, not for Hawaii.
Okay, perfect. That is all the questions that we have for now, but I want to thank Mark and Louisa once again. You have their contact information available on the screen if you want to reach out to them with more information or further follow-up questions. As Joy mentioned before, the webinar recording will also be available in about 6 business days, as well as the presentation that we'll send out to all attendees. Thank you once again for joining us, and we look forward to future DMAI webinars.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.